Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. We are going to be going over Examon. Now, we've been waiting almost 2 years for Examon Sport, and if you are like me, you were very excited for its reveal. And in my opinion, it was a little lackluster. I think they definitely could have done something better, but this is going to be a deck profile and a little bit of a discussion of what Examon might need and kind of my thoughts on the deck playing it so far. So, first off, we are going to start off with your eggs. You're going to be playing 4 copies of the new BT20 Baby Domon. When attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon has Dracomon or Examon in its text, you draw 1. So this is just a nice one attacking draw. I could see you playing 1 copy of the EX3 Baby Domon, but it's very much up to you. Next, you're going to be playing 4 copies of the EX3 Dracomon. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 green or blue Digimon with Dramon in its name, and 1 card with Examon in its name from your hand, or from them. Rest go to the bottom of the deck. All turns, when any of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 1k. This is nice because it's in all turns, once per turn. It's just for the turn that it gets that DP buff, but it's very, very nice. Next, you're going to be playing 2 copies of the Promo Dracomon. When you play a Ground Dramon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Wing Dramon in your hand for a cost reduced by 3. So you're just Digivolving for a cost of 3, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements, but the Inheritable is kind of where we're looking at. When you play a Ground Dramon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Wing Dramon in your hand without paying the cost. I can see the argument to be made that you wouldn't even play this card. The starter deck, I don't even remember which one it was, starter deck 7, I think, Dracomon. It is just an on-play search top 3, take 1 with Dramon in its name. That one, I could see you argue playing over this card. Next, you're going to be playing 4 copies of Dracomon from BT20. Start of main phase by trashing 1 card with Dramon in its name, or Dracomon or Examon in its text. Sorry, these get confusing. Draw 1 and gain 1 memory. And then Heritable, your turn plus 2k. This card is a really, really solid addition to the deck. My only gripe is that they made it a red and green or a red and blue. Something like that. I think they should have just stuck Examon with the blue and green. I don't know why they threw in, because this kind of ruins your scramble, stuff like that. And the your turn, I wish they made some of this stuff your turn and opponent's turn, you get plus 2k. But anywho, lastly, you are playing 2 copies of the BT16 Ukomon. When a Digimon is moved from your breeding area, reveal the top 3, add 1 Tamer or Digimon among them, rest go to the bottom, and then you may hatch in your breeding area. This is just nice because, honestly, the only good searcher for Dracomon is this Dracomon. The other one searches Dramon, you don't get Examon off of it, so this Ukomon is kind of a necessity for it. Next, you're going to be playing 3 copies of the EX3 Core Dramon Green blocker, and then its Inheritable gives 1 of your Dramon in its name or Examon blocker. I prefer this over the Evade one, just because I think blocker is very necessary, especially because we're running the old Examon as well. So I chose blocker over this. You could run 2 and 1 of the other one, but I just think the other Core Dramons are a little bit more necessary. So next, you're going to be playing 3 copies of the BT20 Core Dramon. Raid, your turn when any of your blue Digimon with Dracomon or Examon in their text is played. This Digimon may Digivolve into a Ground Dramon in the hand, reduced by 2. So this is a 1-cost Ground Dramon if you do things like play out a Dracomon, or you hard play a Wing Dramon, or something along those lines in case you don't have this guy in your Inheritables. This is a nice way to get up there now. Next, you're going to be playing 4 copies of the blue-red BT20 Core Dramon. I favor this one because I think jamming is more important than raid is. Your turn, same effect. When you play a Dracomon or Examon in its text, you can Digivolve into a Wing Dramon reduced by 2. So that's pretty cool. Inheritable, your turn plus 2k. I do wish, like I said, that one of these was a your turn and one of these was an opponent's turn plus 2k, just to give buff on the opponent's side. Because I've started to notice a little bit, it's hard to get DP buffs on your opponent's turn, and a lot of Digimon can just make massive walls now, and they can be big attackers, and it's kind of hard for Examon to get up there. His 15k DP isn't uncommon anymore. Next, I'm playing 1 copy of the EX3 Ground Dramon. Blocker, your turn. This Digimon, Examon in hand can treat this Digimon as a level 6 during DNA. I don't know why that was so confusing for me to say, but you can treat this as a level 6 DNA. Only on your turn, though, okay? So this kind of just takes your green slot for that DNA. End of your turn, this Digimon may DNA one of your other Digimon into an Examon. So you can DNA Digivolve end of turn. My biggest thing with this deck is I'm trying to find that because these Groundramons and Wingdramons from EX3 aren't super good. But the end of turn is really strong, and this deck has a hard time gaining the memory and then kind of using it for reduced cost because they've introduced it now as red. I think that really just stumped this deck. I personally think they should have just made it green-blue for each of the sides, but, you know, I am not Bandai, so I don't have control over what happens. Next, you are playing 4 copies of the BT20 Wingdramon. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. All turns, this Digimon is treated as a Slayer Dramon for Examon's DNA Digievolution. So this is an all turns, which means this can be a Slayer Dramon for your ace card. So I play 4 copies of this. I favor this Wing Dramon over the Ground Dramon because security attack +1 I think is a little bit more important with this deck. Next, we are playing 3 copies of the BT20 Ground Dramon. On play, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then one of their Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend until the end of their turn. All turns, this Digimon is treated as a Break Dramon level 6 for Examon's DNA. Inheritable, all turns when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top security. So I like this one a lot, and I play more Slayer Dramons than Break Dramons, but this end of turn DNA is just so valuable that I've come to find is you honestly really need it in the deck, if I'm being completely honest. The end of turn, even if you switched out these, I could see you playing a Gabumon from BT17 just to get that end of turn DNA. I think it is so important that happens that I'm running one of these just to keep it. Next, we are playing 2 copies of the BT20 Break Dramon. Blocker, on play, when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then one Digimon may attack. All turns, when any of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in their name or text deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, delete one of their suspended Digimon or Tamers. So a nice powerful card. That is the same as the Inheritable. It's the same thing. So it's pretty strong. I like that card a lot. And now we are going to play Slayer Dramon. So it's got Piercing, on play, when Digivolving, trash any 3 Digievolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolution cards. All turns, when an opponent's security is removed, one of your Digimon, Dracomon, or Examon in its text may unsuspend. And then it's Inheritable, all turns, when any of your Digimon with Dramon, Dracomon, or Examon in their text would leave the battle area, other than by battle, you may suspend them so they do not leave. So nice protection, really strong. Evade can cover up everything else. Next, we are playing 2 copies of Slayer Dramon from EX3. All turns, when this Digimon suspends, you may unsuspend it. Start of opponent's turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in their name to force one of your opponent's Digimon to attack. Okay, so this does have an errata where your opponent does get to choose the Digimon that attacks. So it forces one of their Digimon to attack. You can't select start of main phase, which is something that I feel like they could have changed and put in the new Slayer Dramon, but that is okay that they did not. So just keep that in mind. Your opponent gets to choose, which means they can choose a suspended Digimon to swing. So a lot of the times I choose Tamers for this. If I have this combo in my hand, I'll pick a Tamer for Ground Dramon so it can unsuspend, so everything does unsuspend, and then you can force them to swing. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of the EX3 Examon. When Digivolving, you may place one green or blue Digimon card with Dramon in its name from your hand under this Digimon as its bottom Digievolution card. When DNA Digivolving, you may play one green or blue Digimon card with Dramon in its name and 12,000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. All turns, when this Digimon becomes suspended, unsuspend it and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. The reason why I favor this Examon, I love it so much. It is so good. The end of turn DNA, you play out this Slayer Dramon. So you play it on the field. You might put this Slayer Dramon underneath. When you trigger that, you then force the attack, and then you get another opportunity to ace. And then you get your other Examon on the field. So as long as you have the pieces, you can get out 2 Examons really quick. But you need that end of turn DNA, or you just need to be able to DNA in your turn. Next, we are playing 2 copies of the BT20 Examon Ace. It has Raid, Piercing, Blocker, Evade, Blast DNA, Break Dramon, and Slayer Dramon, which these guys count if they're on the field. When Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP to the bottom of the deck. All turns, when any any Digimon suspends, this Digimon may unsuspend. So this is a very powerful card. In my opinion, it is very lackluster. It's when Digivolving is only a when Digivolving, and it's only if you DNA you get to bounce something. I think they could have given Examon something so much better, like when Digivolving, play out Budramon in its name. Then if DNA Digivolving, do this. So I think they kind of screwed over Examon with this card, but the Raid Piercing Blocker Evade is very powerful. So I'm happy we got a new one, but I think they could have made it more powerful. Next, we are playing 2 copies of Davis Motomiya. Start of turn, you set your memory to 3 if you have 2 or less. On play, reveal top 3, add 1 blue and 1 green Digimon card from the hand. Among them to the rest go to the bottom. This is just a staple in this deck. It's been played for the longest time, okay? It is something that you've continuously always had in this deck. It is the best memory setter for it. Next, hit the camera. Next, you're going to be playing 2 copies of EX3 Hina Kurihara. And I know you're thinking, this isn't Dragon Links. Hold on a second. Start of turn, if your opponent is a Digimon, you gain a memory. Your turn. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with a Rock Dragon, Earth Dragon, Machine Dragon, Sky Dragon trait, you may suspend this tamer to activate one of their on-play effects. The new Slayer Dramon is a Dragonkin, so that doesn't matter. But the new Break Dramon, this is a Machine Dragon. You activate that on play, you suspend up to 4 things on their field. Ground Dramon, he is an Earth Dragon. You suspend 2 things on the field. 2 of their things can unsuspend. Digimon or Tamers. Wing Dramon, you delete 2 6Ks. So I'm testing out to see how this Hina works in this. I've used it a handful of times, and it's gone pretty well when I've had it. Especially for this Break Dramon, I can't even tell you how much this Break Dramon's come in handy. And this Ground Dramon really as well. It's really nice to be able to get those off twice. Next, I am playing 2 copies of Unleash the Dragon Gene. You may play 1 Digimon card with Dracomon or Examon in its text from your hand with a play cost reduced by 3, then place this card in the battle area. When any of your Digimon with Dracomon or Examon in their text would leave the battle area other than in battle, delay 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into an Examon. Security, you may play 1 Digimon card with the Dracomon in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost and place this in the battle area. This card is nice to get your Dracomons out for free, basically. You play it out for 2. The issue that I've seen is it's sometimes hard to get out multiple stacks with your Examon decks, and playing out multiple stacks can be an issue unless you have this guy right here. And you have to have, like, these guys, or one of each of them on the field to be able to do it. So it can be kind of hard to get that delay off, but when it does work, it's really useful. Next, I'm playing 3 copies of Jade Memory Boost. This card's color requirements can also be used with blue, but main reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 green or blue Digimon card from them to the hand. The rest go to the bottom of the deck. Main delay, you gain 2 memories. So it's a nice memory boost. You get to search, you get a lot, pretty much all of your pieces except for the Dracomons and the Ukomons. But that's fine. And lastly, we're playing 1 copy of Heaven's Judgment. If you have a green Digimon or Tamer in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Activate the effect below for each color your Digimon have. Activate it again. So one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6k, and you can activate it 1, 2, 3 more times. And if you have Ukomon, you activate it 4 more times. So you are minusing a ton of DP with that card. So this is my version 1 of this Examon deck. I do think in the future, I'm hoping they release the X antibody forms and they give it more DP buffs on your opponent's turn. The only other thing you can do with this deck, and I'm just going to throw this out here. If you want me to make a video on it, I can. You could scrap this entire deck, and you can play the Galaxy base with the level 5s being Wing Dramon, Ground Dramon, and the top end Exa. So if you would like to see that, I will build it and I will show you guys, but you can do a Galaxy version for this deck. I personally just really like Dracomon. As you can tell, we've got a lot of the alt arts for this deck, so it's a deck that I've always loved. I love Dragon Links. I love Examon. I just wish they gave them a little bit better stuff, but we're trying to make it work. So if you guys have any opinions, anything, we'll put out more version 2 decks. But this is just my version 1 that I'm going to continue to play, test, and see how it goes. And I'll show you some of the stuff that I might tech in later on. But other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks.